Okay, we'll get started. And
Hey,
again,
Greg.
oh, there you go. Did you try the 20 milligram tablet out?
I haven't yet. I'll
Okay.
do it tomorrow. I got 3 cars I'm doing tomorrow,
Now
and
I have
I'll
had a
try them
couple
out.
people that have used it without the bubbler. And they said it worked in the same amount of time that they were amazed. So
Oh,
play with it
okay.
and let me know. Okay.
So, yeah, so we're just setting it off and letting it go.
Just like you did with the bubbler. The only difference is you don't need
Yep.
the bubbler. So you'll
All
find
right.
that new tablet is nice. Okay, we're going to get started so
Sounds
we get
good.
you
Thanks.
guys out of here at a decent time. And as I talk, just keep in mind that we'll have plenty of time to ask questions. We are on Zoom. So sometimes, depending on your connection, it will slow down. I have no control over that. I'm going to show a couple videos, so sometimes they're slow. Unfortunately, I have no control over your connection. So please bear with me there. As I go, I have everyone on mute only because if everyone talks, it goes around and around. But if I'm going and you have a question that you would like to ask, all you do is go to the lower hand right. You'll see a microphone. You click on it and you'll be able to talk. If you click on your picture, up in the right hand corner of your picture, you get 3 dots, and you could put your name in there if you like. If you don't, some of you have like iPhone or that, so you could put your name in if you want, and then everyone will know who you are. If you want to put your camera on so everyone could see you, you're welcome to do that too. But as I go, please feel free to ask questions. And the way this came about is there were a lot of questions about what type of sprayer I should use. In ULB foggers and electrostatic sprayers have just multiplied like you can't believe. And there's a lot of different ones that have come on the market because everyone wants to get in and cash in on this craze that we have now. And it's obvious that this virus is going to be with us for a while. And the nice thing about it is that brought to the attention of everyone that we do have to be very careful and clean for cleanliness. This has become a real nice thing. It hasn't happened before, and that has opened up a lot of new opportunities. And the other thing is, in talking about it, I had to talk about dwell time, get into the disinfectants because when you choose a sprayer, you want to choose one that's going to work for you for what you're attempting to accomplish. And when we talk about dwell time, this is mainly in regard to disinfectants. But those of you that have a carpet cleaning background, a lot of times we use a pre-spray traffic lane cleaner to precondition the carpet. We spray the carpet with it and we give it dwell time to loosen and break down all the soil. Well, when we start talking about disinfectants, we have something very similar. We have to have dwell time for them to work. Now, this talk is being done for the JustGone systems. The JustGone system specializes in some preparatory products. So we'll be talking about those products. I won't be really getting into other disinfectants. There's wonderful disinfectants out there, but I won't really be getting into them. I'll be getting into the ones which we use, which are chlorine dioxide. And when we talk about chlorine dioxide, there's a lot of ways to manufacture chlorine dioxide. Some are very simple and safe, some are a little more complicated. So we're talking about the ones that are used in the JustGone system. So dwell time is the time that it takes a product to sit on its target to destroy it. And there is a tremendous amount of information out there that really kind of lies. No nice way to say it. They tell the truth, but not the whole truth and nothing but the truth. For example, you'll have some that will tell you, oh, we killed this. We're on the in list and how great we are. But what they don't tell you is the dwell time that is needed for them. For example, these are some products that are on the in list, just some of them. And one that is extremely popular, vinyl oxide. It's a great disinfectant, wonderful product, but they mixed it with quaternary ammonia. And what they'll tell you is that's a food preservative. They did it for another reason. But you'll notice that they tell you how wonderful it is. But what they don't tell you is it has to stay on the surface for 10 minutes to work. So you have numerous companies going around spraying this and fogging it everywhere, but it's not wet on the surface for 10 minutes. And if you look, you'll see all these different products and the actual dwell time it takes. They'll give you and mislead you like kills 99.9% of germs within 30 seconds. That's only specific germs. The ones you really want to kill, some of them have an 18-minute dwell time. So they have to actually be on the surface for that long to actually do its job. And what we have the stabilized chlorine dioxide, and then we have our chlorine dioxide that are in tablets. They're two very unique and different products. So they're very unique and very different. The stabilized chlorine dioxide is on the alkaline side of the pH scale. It is extremely safe. If you look at the SDS sheet, you'll see how very safe it is. A lot of people have said, oh, we got the same thing. Look at your SDS sheet and look at ours. You'll see the difference in the fact that this is not an eye irritant, it's not a respiratory irritant, and how safe it is. It could be used on all surfaces. Anything water won't hurt. It could be used on carpet. It could be used on upholstery. I mean, there's just a tremendous amount of uses for the stabilized chlorine dioxide. When we first came out with it, we designed it to get rid of pet stains. Unbelievably good at getting rid of pet stains. And one of the advantages of it could be used on woolen furniture. It did not have to be rinsed out. It didn't take the color out of anything. When we originally started it, it was a 10-to-1 mix. We sold it in the gallons. 1 gallon would make 11. What happened with the COVID is that people started using this to put in their electrostatic sprayers and their ULB foggers to get rid of the virus and get rid of the germs and bacteria. So we had to redesign it. And the reason why is the original one had a kill time of approximately 10 minutes. It was just like all the other disinfectants. Well, when you spray with an electrostatic sprayer, you don't have the 10 minutes. So we needed to get the kill time down to 2 to 3 minutes. So what we did, we redesigned it and we made it a concentrate. So it comes in a 33-ounce bottle. So each one of those 33-ounce bottles makes 11 gallons. Safe on 5th generation wool on everything. Mixes easy. The other thing, when you mix it, you have a shelf life of a year. So it doesn't just dissipate like other oxidizers. And what's really nice about it is we got the kill time down to 2 to 3 minutes. So when you use an electrostatic sprayer and or a ULB fogger, you're able to get rid of the germs and bacteria. Now, this is another thing that they don't tell you. When you're using disinfectants, you have to clean the surface for the disinfectant to work. In other words, you're not able to put this disinfectant down on anything unless the surface has been cleaned, because it won't work. This is where the stabilized chlorine dioxide is so unique. It cleans and disinfects. So the technical term for it would be a germicidal cleaner. It could be used as a booster for pre-sprays, for just about anything. And you only have a 2 or 3 minute dwell time. Now, we also have tablets. And by the way, our tablets very shortly will be put on the, matter of fact, all the products will be on the end list. The tablets, we have 1 gram, 4 gram, 10 gram, 20 gram, and 100 gram tablets. When you mix the tablet, for example, if you mix a 20 gram tablet, you could mix it in 5 gallons of water, and you'll have a disinfectant that is, 3-minute kill time, but it's meant for hard surfaces. So the difference between the Stabilize and the tablets are for hard surfaces. You could use it on carpet, but you got to be careful because there's a tendency that it could bleach it, whereas the Stabilize won't bleach anything. So when people say, which one should I use? I'm like, well, what are you using it for? If you're a janitor and mopping a floor, you could use the tablet. If you're spraying it, there's no carpet or furniture that you're going to spray, use the tablet. If there's furniture, use the Stabilize. Then you're safe. The other thing is, just spraying is not the only answer. Even though this is a germicidal cleaner, the touch points need to be wiped down. This is another thing that most of the companies doing it don't do. They go in and spray and say you're safe. Not true. If you're going to do it right, you have to wipe the touch points down. The Stabilize is the ideal thing to wipe it down with because it's a cleaner. So you're removing the grease, the grime, and everything. By the way, if you talk to people that have used this, it gets rid of grass stains, blood, just about anything organic. It could be mixed with your traffic lane cleaner, anything alkaline, so it's very safe. So the difference between the two is that the tablet is for hard surfaces, and the liquid Stabilize would be for soft goods like furniture. And yes, it does get rid of skunk. Someone typed in that it gets rid of skunk extremely well. Gasoline odors, any type of organic odor, curry cooking, extremely well at all those type of odors. That's what's so unique about the chlorine dioxide. Anyone that has used it has been like, wow, this is amazing. So it does a very good job on all organic stains. But the kill time, what we did is we redesigned them so we got kill times of 2 to 3 minutes. We did that because of this COVID-19. And when we talk about sprayers, there's electrostatic and there's ULB foggers. You could use a pump-up sprayer like if you're spraying carpet and things of that nature. But if you're going to be going in and fogging a place, be it an office, a house, a school, whatever, there's 2 choices of sprayers, electrostatic and ULB. And what I'm going to do is kind of show you the difference between these 2 sprayers. Then you can look around and decide, well, which type of sprayer do I want to get? And you could see which one, because with electrostatic sprayers, you have some that will spray 25 feet, you have some that only spray 5 feet. So you want to determine, well, which one do I want based on the type of work that I'm going after and that I'm going to do. Now, so you understand how electrostatic sprayer works, what really makes the difference is the electrostatic sprayers charge the particles as they're leaving the machine. This causes it to wrap around. Let me show you this little video here, and it'll give you an idea. And that's whoops, hold on a second.
Years,
I gotta
there were
see something that just happened. When I hit this, I gotta hit this other thing so that it shows right. And let's see if I hit this. I hit this. There it goes. Now it's there.
no real choices in spraying technology. A solution emitted from a conventional hydraulic sprayer covers only the top or front of the object, but leaves much of the target uncoated, especially on the back or underneath side. Electrostatic spraying systems has changed that. Now you can coat the entire targeted object. Watch this apple duster demonstration and see for yourself. The first apple will be sprayed with a conventional spray technique without an electrostatic charge. Now we apply the electrostatic charge to the sprayer and coat the second apple. Which would you prefer? Whether spraying for insects, mold, bacteria, or germs, only electrostatic spraying systems gives you full coverage. Please visit our website at www.elect.
Okay, now, the reason I show that is that they charge the particle. So it wraps around. Now, when you look at electrostatic sprayers, you have small handheld ones and you have some larger ones. The larger ones offer more of electrical charge, so they do a little bit better job of wrapping around and holding on to the surface. But we're only spraying a disinfectant. We're not painting. And a lot of times you'll hear someone talk about the negatives of everything when they're selling something different. So some of the negatives that I have heard about the electrostatic spraying is it doesn't get into corners properly. That's if you're painting. We're just putting a disinfectant there. The other thing is let me go back and it'll make a little sense to you. When you look at some of these other products, you'll hear the manufacturer say, you could electrostatic spray, but it goes on better with the ULB fogger. Again, you come with the truth, but not the whole truth. The reason why is, and the reason I say that, is that many of these products, when they go through an electrostatic sprayer, especially the ones that have the quaternary ammonia in them, it changes the pH and they will cause metal to corrode. Now, the liquid stabilized chlorine dioxide that we use is actually sodium chloride. Okay, and it's same thing as chlorine dioxide, just made a little differently. It does not have any quaternary ammonias, and it does not cause any rusting on equipment when it goes through an electrostatic sprayer. So what you'll discover is a lot of people say, oh, don't use the electrostatic sprayer, use a ULB fogger to go on better. No, what the problem is that their product will change and it will corrode metal. The other thing, electrostatic sprayers usually put on a little larger size droplet. So you'll have people say, oh, use a ULB fogger. It's much finer. You're going to get things too wet with that. Well, what you got to understand is if you use a ULB fogger at 8 microns, 10 microns, is it going to stay wet for the 2 or 3 minutes? And then when you look at these other products where you need 10 or 15 minutes dry time, wet time for it to work, it doesn't work. So it's not doing what you want it to do. So when you're deciding on your sprayer, what are you going to use in it? This product could be used in an electrostatic sprayer without any fear of anything corroding. The other thing is it only needs that 2 to 3 minute dwell time. The other challenge is, in this film that I'm going to show you, this is from a hurricane. This one does not have any sound. But what I want you to watch is what they did is they took paper and they put it around the room and they sprayed. One of the tests that we did, we had a hospital, and this hospital was using a machine called a halo machine to disinfect the rooms. What that was, it's a machine that sprays out peroxide, but the peroxide has a heavy metal in it, and the heavy metal that it has in it is silver. And it does a great job, but the problem is it takes a long time. And now the EPA has kind of come down on heavy metals. See, a lot of the peroxides to work, they were adding either zinc or silver or a combination of the two. And what has happened is because of Corona, everyone went crazy. They started getting a little negative towards it. So the hospital was looking for something that would work, that would be quicker and wouldn't have the heavy metal. So the Halo machine took a few hours. So what we did is we took some lip disc paper. That's those little strips of paper that change color by the pH. And remember, this stabilizes a 9 pH. So we took this paper and we taped it underneath the hospital bed, taped it underneath a chair, and we taped it behind their little stand that they had. We went in actually with the same fogger they're using here, a hurricane, and we just went in a circular motion like this. And we were in that room not even 2 minutes. After we sprayed, we went back in 5 minutes. All the lip disc paper turned a light green because it got underneath the bed and everything. Now this film I'm going to show you, this is a gentleman doing an office. There's no sound on it, but it'll give you an idea. Now, when he did it, he didn't go in a circular motion. He was going like this. Usually we go in a circular motion and move around the room. We don't have to get real close to everything. So let's see if I get this to work. Okay, come on. Pop up like it should. Ah, good it is. Sometimes I get real lucky. And again, there's no sound with this one. Okay, now this is a hurricane. There's a lot of very good electrostatic sprayers. The hurricane shoots about 20, 25 feet. That's one of the nice things about it. What they did is they took some moisture sensitive paper and they taped it in different locations around this room. Now the one on the ceiling and the wall, they're easy to find. There's one by the map, but you'll see where he's standing. You don't have to walk right up to it to spray. But he also put some behind bookcases and in drawers, just to give you an idea. Like you'll see one right there. Behind the cabinets.
I don't think we're seeing it, Craig.
You're not, oh, you know what? You're right. Son of a gun. Let me go back. Let me hit this proper again. I'm not the brightest when it comes to computers. Now you'll see it. There we go. I apologize. It started over. I apologize. I'm not the smartest when it comes to computers. I don't have my kids with me to show me what I'm doing wrong.
You're doing great.
Okay, you can see where they put this moisture sensitive paper in different locations. And again, this way you'll see the difference between a electrostatic and a ULB, so it could help you make a determination which way you want to go. Both are very good, both have a purpose. It's just that you want to choose one that's really going to work proper for you in what you're attempting to accomplish. Now, a lot of times when we do this type of work, we have to spray into duct systems. Well, with electrostatic, you're going to coat the whole duct. This will shoot about 20, 25 feet, and you'll coat everything. Some electrostatic sprayers only shoot 5 feet. Some will shoot 10 feet. So again, take a look and decide which one you're going to get. You can see where they put the paper inside the drawer. Okay, so they put these papers, these moisture sensitive papers all around the room. Then they went, now, when he did this film, they were fumigating. Well, this could be used for odor control, for pesticides, for numerous uses. And when we go in a circular motion and we're very fast. So he's just going and spraying. And you'll see, matter of fact, if you time it, you'll discover that he'll be in this room literally a minute and a half spraying. You can see the light mist that is coming out. That's all that's needed. One of the problems when people first do it is they spend too much time because they see this little mist and they're like, oh, gee, is this enough? Is it really working? Now, you saw how short he sprayed. Now, when you take a look at the paper, you could see where the open paper it covered it. And obviously on the ceiling, it covered with no problem too. But what you're going to be amazed at is you're going to see how it also got behind things. Now, if I did that room, I would have been in there about 30 seconds longer and went in a circular motion, and I would have had it would have coated the paper very nice and evenly. Again, you could see where the open paper it covered. That's one of the unique things about the electrostatic. It goes everywhere. Now, this is where it's visible. Wait do you see when he goes to areas that are behind things, you'll see that it got there too. By the way, it isn't just that paper. The whole back of those cabinets have been treated. See where the paper that was behind there got hit. You'll see that areas that he was nowhere near spraying got coated. This is what amazed the hospital when we used it, that we were able to get underneath the bed, behind things, underneath the chair, in just a matter of a couple minutes. So when you use an electrostatic sprayer, you're able to get it into areas like here's underneath the desk. You can see where the tape was yellow and the rest it splattered and covered it. Here's another one that he had. And you notice he was in that room for not even a minute. Usually it takes about 30 seconds longer in a circular motion and you get a better coverage, but you'll get an idea. With the electrostatic, you're able to do things that you can't do with a ULB because a ULB fogger only goes straight. Back to red, which is right here. Perfect. Okay, so that's a ULB fog, electrostatic sprayer. This is a ULB fog. ULB, again, you have some that you could adjust that will shoot 5 feet, some that will shoot 30 feet, but it's straight. Okay? So it doesn't go and wrap around things. It will still work. It's just that it's going to take you longer to do because you got to maneuver yourself so you can get underneath things and behind things. So when you use the ULB, you just got to spend a little more time. This is why when people say, well, how much does a gallon of the Zuno cover? Well, if you use an electrostatic, 4,500 square feet. If you're using a ULB fogger, about 4,000, because you got to maneuver and use a little bit more so that you're able to get everything. That's the big difference. And this is a gentleman who's using a ULB fogger. This will give you an idea how they work. And I just got to remember, I got to do this so that.
Hi, I'm Jay Smith from Disinfectant Fog.
There we go.
Here's another one of our new ULV foggers. This one here has a 7-liter capacity for disinfectant. So you would pour that in here in the back, comes with a convenient shoulder strap. We're talking, folks, really 6 to maybe 8 pounds when it's full. So not that bad, really. You could carry it or shoulder strap. It has a hose in the front with an adjustment for how much of this disinfectant will emit out the end, and this is your off and on switch here. So this thing could run dry and blow it to dry surfaces if you were to overfog them, because it couldn't wet them. Second of all, there is an adjustment on how much of that disinfectant is going to come out. So let's test this right now and show you quickly how effective this is as one of our awesome foggers. It's a heavy duty unit and do the job really well. Here we go. Just a little bit of disinfectant. Don't try to add any more.
Now he's using water because he would be wearing a mask if he was using disinfectant.
Take it back. And try.
Okay, now see, when you're using this, you're only going in a straight line. So because you're only going in a straight line, you have to maneuver yourself so you get everything covered. Couple problems that we have discovered where people ran into trouble with using ULB foggers. Not with our product, fortunately, but they used other disinfectants, is that one, especially the ammonia chlorides, they're a respiratory irritant. So when you use them, especially ULB fogger, the particles float in the air for quite a few minutes. So people breathing them in, it's a respiratory irritant. The electrostatic sprayer, it settles right away. In 5 minutes, you could enter. But where the problem has come in, people have one in, and you see them in ads all the time and on television, where they're going around foggy. They're not getting it wet enough where it has the proper kill time, especially if they're using a product that has a 10-minute kill time. So what's happening is they're failing efficacy test, and they're getting sued because they're telling people they're doing something, and then when the lawyers take a close look, they're not doing it properly. So a ULB fogger is a great thing, but remember, you're going to have to maneuver a little bit more. Now, for example, if you're doing a car, that's no problem. But if you're doing a school where you got to really move into classrooms, you definitely want to get underneath the desk because kids put their hands underneath there. Electrostatic might be a better choice. You know what? I had something, and let me, I don't see it here. And no, I don't have it here. Oh, I know why. Son of a gun. Let me do something because I have another little video that I really want to show that will be a little bit better. It will make sense to you why when I show you this. I apologize. This one will be a little better. Yeah, we must clean first. Okay. And I got to find my screen, show taskbar, and I hit that. Okay, then I go to, I'm learning how to use Zoom properly. I apologize. I'm not the smartest when it comes to this. So I would do this one right here, right? Yeah. Yes. Now I got it right. Okay. This is a little bit about the chlorine dioxide and how it works. There's something really interesting in here that you really need to see that will give you a little comprehension on how the chlorine dioxide actually
Chlorine dioxide, or ClO.
Let me get the screen so it pops up proper. And I want this one, that.
Dioxide, or ClO2, is a powerful oxidizer proven in the effective treatment of viruses, bacteria such as listeria, fungi, algae, biofilm, and parasites, including Cryptosporidium and Giardia, which can spread rapidly in swimming pools and potable water supplies. ClO2 is a highly soluble gas. In either gaseous state or dissolved as a liquid, it is effective in eradicating airborne spores and waterborne pathogens. Despite its name, chlorine dioxide should never be confused with chlorine, as they are two distinctly different chemicals in both structure and behavior. ClO2 is formed when a chlorine ion creates an extremely strong bond with an oxygen molecule. The result is a potent oxidizing and disinfecting weapon against all pathogens. It disinfects by disrupting the transportation of nutrients across the cell wall, regardless of the metabolic state of a microorganism or pH of the solution. After use, it rapidly breaks down to chloride, a common salt with no toxic byproduct. ClO2 is singularly effective against biofilm, the layer of bacterial slime which builds up in pipework, water storage tanks, and reservoirs, leading to blocked pipes and decreased water quality.
Now, I stopped it there for a reason. See, the biofilm, now this is where they're using the chlorine dioxide in water treatment plants. It eats up the biofilm. This has been a real big challenge with people cleaning. You get a biofilm, and if you don't clean that biofilm, your disinfectant can't work. What is so unique about the chlorine dioxide, it eats that biofilm. That's why it's a germicidal cleaner. It destroys the biofilm. Now, this is really important. Matter of fact, just before we started, someone hit me with a challenge, of what they were looking at. When you use the green disinfectants, they leave an organic material or biofilm where bacteria could start growing again. The experience just had a talk with people from Shaw. What Shaw said, largest mill, they own most of the mills that make carpets, that they only like chlorine dioxide disinfectants used on their carpet. Why? Because the others leave a film or attract soil. If it has ammonia, quaternary ammonias in it, voids their warranty. So they like the chlorine dioxide. Does not leave a biofilm and actually eats through the biofilm. And chlorine dioxide is not chlorine. People get that confused. And there's a lot of different ways of making the chlorine dioxide. Please keep that in mind. If you look at the SDS sheet, you'll see how safe this product is. I'll show you the rest of this.
It also oxidizes iron, manganese, and other metals which initially encourage the growth of biofilm. Zychem Technologies and EasyChem Marketing are proud of their heritage as market leaders in chlorine dioxide delivery systems throughout Australasia.
Okay, now, they do, like I say, chlorine dioxide is used all over the world, does an unbelievably good job. I just wanted you to see, understand about the biofilm. Now, I want you to picture peroxide. All of you have put peroxide in a cup and saw how it bubbles. Well, this is what the chlorine dioxide does. It attacks the organic material, adding oxygen, getting it to break down where you remove it. This is why when you have a urine stain and you put it on there, the urine stain is gone, the odor's gone. This is why any organic stain, gone. The chlorine dioxide is not super fast, but it leaves no residue. It's extremely safe, pet and child friendly. So I wanted you to see that. In the ULB foggers, when you're using the ULB fogger, there's some things that you want to know about it. Now, what we did for Zuno is a preventative, a surface protector. So with our system, we usually go in and we use our chlorine dioxide to wipe down all the touch points, to spray and kill everything. Then we use the Zuno as a preventative because it works on the laws of physics to prevent germs from growing. And we put together a protocol for when you're using a ULB fogger. I have this in a PFD. What I'll do is I'll get it on our Facebook page so that if you want to download it, you could, to help with training and help putting together your proposals. Now, what this does, it tells you how to use a ULB fogger. And someone's asking a question, so women are able to do two things at once. I can't. Yes, the Facebook page is JustGone Systems. Ask to join. We'll have this in a PDF. You could download it. We put it together for Zuno. Please understand, we put it together for Zuno. We're using the ULB fogger. The same protocol basically would be for electrostatic sprayer, except it would go quicker and would cover much more things. So when you're using the ULB fogger, we talk about clean the treated areas normal with a reputable cleaner. Well, that's where the chlorine dioxide comes in. You can't beat it as a cleaner. Okay, the Zuno you mix straight. So we just explained how to use the Zuno. And what we basically said is you want to be in the 20 micron range. And what we did with this is we have an entire system where we put it together for whatever you're doing. For example, if you're doing a lunch area, work area, and what I have on it in this PDF is we have where we talk about what to do. For example, it is recommended that if you have ventilation slots and electrical equipment with the fans running, you might want to put a little piece of tape or paper over it because you don't want it sucking this into the machine. Although we haven't had any problem with the chlorine dioxide or the Zuno. And the reason why is the chlorine dioxide is not a corrosive and the Zuno is an eater. So we haven't had any problem. We just recommend it so you don't get into trouble. And we talk about start misting in 1/4 of the room. Now, when you're using the ULB fogger, you got to walk around so you're getting everything. When you're using the electrostatic, you're going in a circular motion, and because it wraps around everything, you're able to cut your time down, depending on the furniture, to 1/3 of what a ULB fogger takes you. That's the advantage of it. So you would use the same process with the ULB fogger, but it would take faster. So we put together a little protocol for reception areas. We have one for the basic office. And see here, you'll notice that it says, when you're spraying, apply the mist to all chair fabrics, mist the carpet and under the desk. Make sure you fully mist the entire room. When you're using an electrostatic sprayer, it doesn't. Cuts your time down drastically. We have one for workstations. So again, and by the way, both of these are no problem on plants. The only thing that we would recommend is if there's fish tank, you put a cover over the fish tank. You don't want to put this in with the water of the fish tank. And you don't want to spray birds with it either. So little common sense there. But we have a protocol for conference rooms. And again, we put this together so that you could have a training for your employees, or it could help you when you're putting together a proposal together. So we have training rooms, we have lecture rooms, kitchens. By the way, chlorine dioxide is safe for food service areas too, just so you know, it's approved for food service areas. Lunch rooms, so is the Zuno. Gymnasiums. The next meeting we have, we're gonna be showing you something that we have some packets that you could put in that release low levels of chlorine dioxide. So when you have a gym or a bedroom, it gets rid of the allergens and the viruses in the room, but it will also get rid of the odors in the gym locker room. So that could be very nice to you. This is an interesting slide. I put this in totally backwards. I have no idea how I did that. And the PFD, it won't be like that. I'm looking at this and I'm like, see, I'm dyslexic, so I could actually read this. That's what's really scary. So in production areas, you could use this around equipment without any problem, changing areas. So you'll be amazed at all the uses that you use this for. 2-week-old cat on very plush carpet, what do? Used to stabilize chlorine dioxide, you'll get rid of the odor. As a matter of fact, Keith, you have that special stuff that we sent you. That's ideal for the cat. It'll get rid of it. What we're working on is some special pet odor products that you could sell to your customer. You don't worry about the dwell time. You spray it on, you leave it. It leaves no residue. It turns the urine to water. So keep that in mind. That's the other nice thing about this when you're dealing with urine. You have no problem at all with leaving it. There is no residue. So please keep that in mind. You could have a great deal of fun with this. You'll really fall in love with it. Okay, changing areas. We have it for laundry. So what we did is we put together a nice protocol for all different areas. By the way, the stabilize, you're able to spray everything. But when you got a tile bathroom, many times, especially the men's room, guys don't seem to be able to get it into the bathroom. So they get it all over the floor and it gets into the grout. If you have hard surfaces, you could take, now have a 10-gram tablet that you could mix with 2 gallons of water, and you're able to take that and you're able to pour that and spray it all over the bathroom floor. It'll get into the grout and get rid of all the urine odor that's in the grout. Also, it'll brighten up the grout very nicely too and clean. So keep that in mind too. So you're able to do the bathrooms extremely easy. We have a protocol for stairs. So what we did is we put together a very nice protocol. We have it in a PDF. I'll put this on the Facebook page. I'll probably get someone to help me do it because I'm not smart enough to do it, but I'll get it up there by Friday. So you could go into the Facebook group and you could download the PDF, and this way you could use it when you're doing proposals. And again, the Facebook group is JustGone Systems. Okay, JustGone Systems. If you go to Facebook, go to JustGone Systems, ask to join, we'll let you in. All we ask is that you follow the rules. The rules are that it is a private group. So no, we're not selling. In other words, don't go there and try to sell things. We're there to show you how to do things with the JustGone system. The JustGone system's chlorine dioxide and a product called Zuno. We have a lot of, you're going to see a lot of consumer products that you'll have. Someone's asking a question, go ahead. Maybe they're not. Maybe they were just talking and didn't realize that their mic was on. One of the funny things about the Zoom meetings that we're teaching via Zoom, and you'll be amazed at how people forget there's a camera and what they won't wear without realizing it. So the Facebook group is JustGone Systems. Ask to join, we'll let you in. I'll put this protocol in there. Also, if you go to the CLO2 network, this might help you too. Let me see if I could get this to work. I go click here and it should work. Of course it's not, so I have to, I know what I gotta do. Go to screen, I go to taskbar, I click here. Let me change this to CLO2 network. Okay, if you go to the CLO2 network, what will pop up is this right here. Fill this in and you could get, we'll email you a COVID-19 survival guide. Of course, it's not showing. Let me hit the share. I apologize. I learned how to do it. There we go. You go to CLO2 network. What will pop up is where you could get this COVID-19 survival guide. And what it has in it when you download it is it has a disclaimer. So if you're going to do this type of work, what you need to have in your disclaimer, it has a lot of information, and it has a lot of information that could help you in putting together proposals. Also, what we'll send you is we have like a 20 some odd page report. And that 20 some odd page report is different than this, is in Word form. So if you're going to do this type of work, you're able to put your name in, and it's in Word form, so you can put your name in and take out whatever you don't like. And it goes through the whole procedures and protocol for selling it, and with all the efficacy tests to give you credibility. So if you go to the CLO2 network, this will pop up, put your name and information in, take a look at the survival guide. If you want to buy product, you could. If you become a member, you save money. What I urge you to do is take a look and see if being a member would benefit you. If it would, become one. If not, you're still able to buy product. It's just that we give the members a discount. So take this, go to the JustGone Systems Facebook. I'll put that PDF up. Also in the Facebook group, I'll put the link where you could download that 20 some odd page report, which could help you generate and get business. Gee, I'm yakking for an hour. Okay, I'm going to stop talking and see if there's any questions that I could answer for anybody. Okay, and you could ask the questions or you could type them in. I'm not super fast with the chat, but feel free. If anyone has any questions on anything we went over, please ask. Now I got Randy here. Randy loves to stabilize because he has used it to remove some of the weirdest things that he gets on carpet. He'll send me pictures and it's like, whoa. So when you start using it, you'll love it. I know Jim Bogey's not here, but I know that Jim used it on some trauma scene cleanup, and he does a lot of nursing homes. We got Jim Tracy here, I think, too. Jim Tracy, is that you here? He does a lot with the nursing homes too in the products. So it works extremely well. So you'll find that you'll be very happy. I got another question. Let me click in this chat so I could see it. What's the ppm on a 32-ounce bottle with 3 ounces to a gallon of water? Okay. We make our chlorine dioxide or stabilize ourselves. There's a lot of people that make chlorine dioxide and it's done a little bit differently. And they all try to talk about this ppm, okay? The ppm, if you're using regular chlorine dioxide, would mean something, okay? And again, they're depending on what you're using it for, like 100 parts per million is an EPA registered disinfectant. When we're dealing with mold, we try to be at 500 parts per million because then we kill the mold and the mold spores. But on the stabilize, it isn't the ppms, it's called the reactivity, where it releases the oxygen atom that's very important. Because if I told you the ppms, you would sit there and go like, huh? That would, that would be dangerous, but it's not. It's technically 6,000 ppms if you measured it in that way. But this is different. This here is the reactivity in which it works. If you look at the SDS sheet, you'll see where this is extremely safe. It's not compared to other people's. We make this, we manufacture it. It's not someone else's. There's been a lot of people that tried copying it. They got stuff that's close, but what you asked them is this: is there's a registered disinfectant? 1, 2, is there's product safe on all fibers? And what does their SDS sheet say? That's where you'll see a big difference, because so far, matter of fact, today I had people send me some SDS sheets from other companies, and they were like, how could I sell this? And when you look at the SDS sheet for the stabilized, what you'll see is the single word danger. That right there tells you, uh-oh, this is not the same stuff we have, and you got to be a little bit careful. Okay. When you look at ours, there is no warning on it. That's the beautiful thing about it. It is extremely safe. There's 0 for health, 0 for fire, 0 for respiratory, and technically no personal protection equipment. But again, you should always wear the proper protection equipment. Now, Jim just said, when we apply to stabilize for disinfecting and wiping, should they add the hypoallergenic cleaner? We also have a hypoallergenic cleaner. We have a lot of products in a stabilized chlorine dioxide field. And what we do is we have a product called all hypoallergenic all-purpose cleaner. It's only 1/4 of an ounce to a gallon. Fantastic cleaner. When you mix it with the stabilize, you're on supercharge. You're able to, with an ATP test meter, bring surfaces down to a 0. Okay, so that's what's really fantastic about it. And Aaron asked the question, is the stabilize good for food preps? Max ppm is 100 parts per million. No, the stabilize, forget the ppms on it. Stabilize is fantastic for food areas, okay, for cleaning them. If you add 1/4 ounce of the all-purpose cleaner, you will cut through the grease, the oils, the grimes like you cannot believe for cleaning food service areas. The tablets will make the parts per million like you're thinking of. For example, a 1 gram tablet in 1/4 of water will produce 100 ppms. A 20 gram and 5 gallons of water will produce 100 ppms, which is a disinfectant, which will kill. When we're dealing with mold, though, we do need it stronger. And the tablets will also get rid of stains. Like if you have mold stains around wood, it will bleach them out. It's just not super fast, but it's very safe. And yes, we are able to ship this to Canada, but as you know, you get screwed in Canada because your government loves to zap you. And right now with the COVID, some areas of Canada, they won't take anything to deliver. They're being really funny. So, but normally we do ship it to Canada. It costs about $20 more for the stupid freight. Apologize for that, but I have no control over that. Any other questions? And by the way, if you looked in the store, you would find that we have a hypoallergenic all-purpose cleaner. We have a carpet pre-spray, and we have a carpet and upholstery cleaner. And all of them use chlorine dioxide technology, but what they also use is we combined it with a stabilized peroxide, and we combined it with a design for the environment green surfactant. So we're able to remove grease and everything. And they all been tested on aquatic life and everything. When you see all the tests that they went through, they're extremely safe. They're all green. They're all hypoallergenic. So we just want to let you know that when you're dealing with products, you need to pay attention to the dwell time. When you're looking at a sprayer, what are you going to do? If you're going to do cars, you'll be foggers fine. If you're going to be doing schools, you might want to consider electrostatic. I was also asked, what electrostatic sprayer do I recommend? I usually don't like to knock any equipment. But one of the things that a lot of people have been telling us is that the Victory sprayer, if you're an owner and you're going to use it, you're going to clean it and treat it very gently, will work. But if you're not gentle with it, or you have employees, they have a tendency to break down at a very high rate. So again, keep that in mind. I got a question about the foam. We're getting the foam in. Hopefully by Monday, we'll have that in the store. I'll explain that to everyone. We have a foam that could be added connected to our tablets. When you use a foamant sprayer, so that the chlorine dioxide will foam, so that when you're doing mold jobs, you're able to have it clean longer, so you can kill everything. It only works with the small sprayer at this time. We're trying to find out what dilution rate we got to use with the foamer for the larger sprayer. So we're trying to get that a little perfected, but right now it works with the small quart foamant sprayer where it foams up very nice. Also, those of you that do low moisture cleaning, if you take the stabilize and you mix 3 ounces to a gallon of water, and you take 1/4 ounce of the carpet and upholstery cleaner and add to it and put it in a foamant sprayer, it'll make a beautiful foam where you could clean carpet and upholstery with it. It leaves no residue at all. Will get rid of odors and clean like you cannot believe. Some of you have probably used it as a pre-spray and saw how well it works. So it's a fantastic product from that aspect. So again, get this free guide. Any other questions on anything? Because I kept you guys longer than I should have. Shame on me. In 2 weeks, we're going to do a talk. Dan will send out an invitation. You're all welcome to it. This will be on marketing and show some products that I think that you might find very useful. You'll see where we put together some whiteboards that you could use for Facebook marketing to help you get business. By the way, just so you all know, some of you are not members. In this guide, at the very end of it, there's a special offer. If you buy a case of the liquid stabilized chlorine dioxide, we won't charge you freight. Plus, what we'll do is we will give you a website, not a replacement for your site, but we'll give you a website that will be in addition to what you have to help to try to get you business. So we're trying to promote this and trying to help you. So we're going to be giving you a website. And again, it's not a replacement for you. Your name and phone number will be in it, links to your website to help you get business. In 2 weeks, we're going to be showing you another product and introducing something that will also help you make money. The only way that this group makes money is if you buy product. The only way you're going to buy product is if it works and you could sell it. So everyone has to help everyone else so that we all make money. Any questions on anything? Man, you guys are so easy. I'm surprised. Again, like I say, if there's any questions, and Randy, you could tell some of the jobs you've done with the stabilized. Randy has done things that will amaze you.
Hey, I'm Randy. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I've used the Stabilize since it first came out and have had nothing but great successes and many times surprising results from things, not just the animal urine, vomit, feces, but times when there was mildew in areas and to pre-spray, let that dwell, clean, do an after spray. And my greatest success is that I leave a customer a 32-ounce spray bottle of it rather than the spotters I used to leave them. I leave them the chlorine dioxide and also tell them to spray it on their pillows, their mattresses, their upholstery, their cars, their carpets, their area rugs. And I cleaned silk rugs with it, with animal and cat pee all over it. And I've cleaned car upholstery with it. And gotten rid of all sorts of things from spiders, ants to bed bugs and everything else with the stabilized and not one single problem.
And by the way, when he says he leaves a 32-ounce bottle with the customer, that's where he mixed it. It's 3 ounces to a gallon. He mixes it. He doesn't give them the concentrate. He mixes it. Also, when you're a member, a gallon of ready-to-use product will cost you a whopping $2.50. So, yes. And if you saw some of the things he's done with it and some of the other members, you would really be amazed. You'd be very excited. Now, like Dick has a janitorial service. You mix 3 ounces of this to a gallon of water, and you put a 1/4 ounce of the all-purpose cleaner, you got a hyperallergenic cleaner that you can clean any surface with. You will remove, if you use an ATP test meter, you bring the germ count down to literally, if you know how to clean, 0. When I say that, you don't cross-contaminate by going back and forth. And your cost is ridiculously cheap when you compare it to your other cleaners. Plus, you can tell people you're removing the germs and the viruses and everything. So again, any other questions from anybody? And by the way, Dick asked me a question and I emailed him the answer, and for some reason it bounced back, but I'm going to mention it to everybody because I get this question from a lot of people. Filtration line soiling, okay? And with filtration line soiling, it's hard to remove. What we do in fire restoration when we have a filtration line soiling, we take Gojo hand cleaner, the one the car mechanics use, the orange one. We take 1 cup of Gojo. We take 1 cup of traffic lane cleaner and 1 cup of a product like citrus salve, and we mix it with a gallon of water. We agitate it into those black lines and extract them, and they will be gone. Okay, and then someone else asked another question about the parts per million with the stabilize. Forget the parts per million. That's something that people use in marketing to try to get you excited. It's important in regular chlorine dioxide. When you deal with the stabilize, it's the reactivity. It's a totally different way of measuring. If we told you the parts per million, ours is 6,000 parts per million, means nothing. The reactivity and what happens with an oxidizer, it loses an electron. When it loses an electron, it causes oxygen to be released. And it does it in a very fast way. And this oxygen attacks organic molecules, causing them to break down. So the liquid stabilize is highly reactive and it's very fast. That's why it could be used on wool, carpets, and silk. Could be used on furniture without damaging. It's due to the reactivity. It's a total different type of chemistry and physics than other products. So it's designed totally different than the other chlorine dioxides. So when they start telling you parts per million, they're in a different world and using a different formulation. We're working with reactivity with the stabilized chlorine dioxide. That's why it works. So it's very, very important to understand there is a big difference. So people sometimes like to give you a little hype and get into it. Does the product work? Is the product safe? Matter of fact, that's another important thing too, because like our tablets could be used to gas off. And if you check with some of the other ones, you have to air the place out after so many hours. If you don't, it will cause metal to corrode. Ours does not. It's different. So it's made, even though it's the same product, it's put together differently. So it works a little differently. We did it so it's real safe. You don't want to do anything that's going to hurt anybody. Plus, I don't want to have someone coming and yelling at me. Okay, again, for the filtration soil, this is where you get those real back lines along the walls. And they're really hard to get rid of. So what we do is we take 1 cup of Gojo hand cleaner, the one the car mechanics use. We take 1 cup of traffic lane cleaner, anybody's. 1 cup of like citrus salve, Citra Quick, one of those delaminine products. You mix it with a gallon of water and shake it. It'll last on the shelf for 2 years. When you get the filtration lines, you put it on them, you could spray it on them, and you agitate it in, and you give it about 5 to 10 minutes to break down all that black filter soil, and then you're able to flush it all out. Now remember, the color might be damaged, not from this product, but from the filtration soiling. The carbon that got in there might break down the dyes, but you won't have the black line. So it'll make your life a whole lot easier. Hey, any other questions on anything?
I got a question because I believe that you had told me this before. I have the thermal fogger, a hot fogger, and I believe you had told me I can't spray the
No.
stabilized. So be clear to people, we have to use a cold fogger, correct?
Yes, this is not meant, chlorine dioxide is not meant for a thermal fogger. Thermal foggers, you should use a petroleum-based product like Thermal 55. What people have discovered though, by using the gassing, you accomplish everything you would with the thermal fogger and more. So yes. Okay, how much is membership for the JustGone? Well, with this guide, your membership is only $39 a month, and you get the chlorine dioxide products at about a 50% discount. What I would suggest you do, try the products and make sure you like them. If you're going to be using a case a month, which is what the average cleaner does, then being a member saves, because then instead of paying $220, you're only paying $110 for a case of this, especially if you use the other products. But if you're only going to use a case every 3 months, don't become a member. It doesn't pay. Take a look and make an intelligent decision and see if it pays for you to be a member. Now, we're going to give you the website either way. If you buy a case, we want to start pushing you and helping you get more business, because if you get more business, you're going to want to become a member. That's our goal. And take a look and see. When you start looking at all the products, and again, twice a month, we'll be doing a little talk. When you start hearing about all the products and all the things that you can do and all the new avenues of income it could open up for you, you'll be very happy. For example, I know, let's see if she's still on here, and I have a speech impediment. So sometimes I pronounce names wrong. Yes, Neva. I'm sure I'm going to pronounce your name wrong, and I apologize. If I'm not mistaken, you're the young lady that works in the healthcare industry. Well, these products are green and very safe. And as you hear us talking, we're putting together programs so that you could clean for people who have cancer. In the United States, 900,000 people are diagnosed with cancer every year. Their immune system is shot. They need someone that could go in and clean to get rid of the germs and bacteria so they don't get sick, because it could be life-threatening and your immune system rebuilds. 900,000 every year are diagnosed with it. The other sad fact is when they get the treatment, they sometimes lose control of their bowels. They have accidents. So it's an unbelievable marker for us to go in and clean and help these people. We're putting together a protocol and everything so you could clean for those people. It'll also be the same protocol for those with C. diff, and only 500,000 people a year get C. diff in the US. So when you start looking at it, your head will spin. Also, we're working and we're going to have a whole program for cars. So we're putting a lot of things together, and we have redone a lot of the chlorine dioxide in the tablets. Matter of fact, the 20-gram tablet, if you're a member, you could get them for as low as $2.50 each. So they're extremely reasonable. We're changing a lot of things around. We're making them ourselves now, so the cost literally has got cut down to half of what it used to be. Any other questions on anything? Man, you guys are so easy. Okay, we'll send you out an email. We're gonna have a meeting in a couple of weeks. That will be on a marketing subject. You're all welcome to do there. By the way, we're recording this. We're setting up a YouTube channel. We'll email you that information so you could go in and you can look at this on YouTube or have your employees. It'll also be put on their members area. So these talks will be available to you. Roger, if I recall, didn't we eat once at Tony Roma's up in Edmonton? You click on your mic, it'll go off.
Yes, we did. And I'm the one there that had the broken arms all summer.
That's right. Yeah, it looks like you're a little better now and could use your arms.
Yeah,
Looks like
got full use of my arms here now. I had casts on until the 15th of July there, and was told I'd have physio for a year, and I'm already finished the physio. So
Well, that's
not
great.
total okay, but almost 100%.
Good. Well, next time I get back up to Edmonton, which who knows with this virus, we'll have to go back to Tony Roma's again. So
I look forward to that. The other thing mention, I'm in discussions with Zuno Canada
yes,
of possibly being one of their franchisees.
yes, they have
and
started a
it's-
franchise division up there. Yes,
They've,
yes.
I'm in the running for franchise here for Alberta.
Excellent. Use me as a reference if you need to. Feel free to. Zuno Canada is
Okay.
different than Zuno USA, but feel free to use me as a reference if you need
Oh,
to.
thank you.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone? My goodness. Okay. This is great. Now, here's the irony. I got some people that are just entering now and we're over, and I'm like, my gosh, where have they been? So if there's any questions for anyone to ask, if not, I will see you all in 2 weeks. You're welcome to join. Get this free survival guide. You don't have to buy anything. Join the Facebook group. You don't have to buy anything. I'll put the PDF up for the protocol for the ULB fogger. Take a look. If anything could be helpful, use it. If you ever need any questions asked, call me. Usually, and by the way, my cell number is 847-612-2210. If you call me, leave a message. I'm usually teaching classes during the day, so I will return the call at lunchtime wherever I'm at, or in the evening or on the weekends. Now, this week, I'm teaching the next 2 days, but then Friday I'm available and Saturday, so feel free to call and ask questions. 847-612-2210. Just write your question down so when you call me, you don't forget, because people will call me and go, God, I knew there was something I want to ask you and I forgot. So this way, write it down and I'll be happy to take any calls. I thank all of you for participating tonight. One last time, any questions? Okay, now we're coming up to a holiday season. Those of you that celebrate, enjoy whatever holiday you do enjoy. Stay safe, and see you all soon. I'm going to end the meeting, so that means we'll all disappear in a second. I see one question in the chat. Oh, thanks. Well, thank you guys for being here. Okay, so I'm going to end the meeting, so we're all going to disappear very fast since no one else has asked questions. Okay, you all have a great one and a great holiday. Okay, now I got to figure out how to close this because I am not a genius. Bye, everyone.